Hello, we are live officially here in the Regulated Woman Entrepreneur. We are talking about the truth behind running a profitable and calm business. Let me make sure that we're actually live here in the group so I can actually see what is going on, just to avoid tech issues. Perfect. Oops. Okay, perfect. We are up and running. So I'm really excited to talk about today's content because there is so much out there on what it is that your business should look like and feel like. And a lot of this advice, I feel like, really creates a lot of visibility wounds, but also I feel like it creates more chaos and spiraling than it does actually give you the ability to create a calm and profitable business. So I love to share these kinds of things because my favorite thing to do as a Sag is to tell you the truth. I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'm always going to be direct about it. I'm always going to just kind of paint you a picture and help you understand that through owning a business since 2017, things have never actually worked for me this very specific way. And so I'm going to share these truths with you. I'm going to share 3 of them, and we're going to dive deeper into this. And I do this, 1, because I love to share the truth. But 2, I feel like you need to understand what it is that you are actually getting yourself into and what actually works as far as creating a calm and profitable business, because you really do need both, right? So I'm going to share more about that. And I do that because I feel like a lot of this truth telling and building this trust is really gone out of the industry, and I'm just not about that. So if you're new to me, which I know a lot of you are, the group is expanding and growing, especially as we are getting ready to gear up for the Calm Business Reset Challenge. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to drop the link for you to join. Okay, sorry, I got a call. I will drop a link for you here in a little bit so that you can join us if you are not already in. But again, in case you're new to me, I'm Angela, and I help you become a regulated CEO so that your income is predictable and not accidental. I do this by teaching business foundations and helping you heal visibility wounds. Now, this is all going to be a little mixture of both, because I believe that when we're looking at this, we're looking kind of what the online industry creates more visibility wounds as, but we're shifting them to build foundations because they're so important. So that's what this is all about here today. So if you're on, let me know that you're on. Say hey. If you're watching the replay, do the same thing. If you have questions, you can leave them and I will get back to you. Or if you're here live, I will answer them for sure. Okay, but let's talk about the number 1 truth about building a calm and profitable business. And the first one is that you won't always feel aligned. I know that there is so much out there on being aligned with your purpose and being aligned with 10K months and being aligned with high ticket clients and all of this, right? To the point where you're so focused on feeling aligned that you're doing more in attempting to feel a certain way than you are than actually taking action. Now, do I believe that your regulation and how you feel plays a part in your business? Of course I do. I do think it's very important. But I also believe that action and working towards your goal is going to give you more than whether or not you felt so excited and so happy and so high that day. And that's what actually attracted the client. That the reality is that you do need both. But I actually believe that you need a calm nervous system rather than this wild alignment that you're chasing day after day and you don't even know what the hell that actually looks like or feels like. And why? Because you've never actually have achieved this specific alignment at this point, right? So if you're trying to align with this goal You need to be focused on doing the action, and doing the action will help you feel you're in your knowing state. It will help you feel more trusting towards yourself. You will know that you're actually moving forward. Trying to force yourself into alignment, especially if we're talking about excitement and all of these things, and you're a woman, so what do you have to deal with? Hormones. You probably have to deal with children, maybe a partner even, and so we kind of really go in an emotional roller coaster. We're not always specifically aligned to this thing like it's said in the online space, right? So your goal is to not necessarily focus on being alignment, but focus on your commitment to showing up, your commitment to the bigger picture, your commitment to keep going, right? Because that is so much more important than the actual alignment. Because believe me, there are days that I have shown up for almost the last 9 years and I was not aligned with how I was feeling. I was not aligned. I was having a bad day. And I say this because in my reality, it has been pretty chaotic for the last, I'd say 9 years or so. Okay, I've been in court 3 times in the last 8 years. Aubrey has been in and out of the hospital for the last 4 years. She's recently 2 years seizure free. And so I was building a business while those things were going on. There was so much chaos at that point that I feel like it would be crazy to think that I was going to show up and be aligned with the way that I was feeling every single day, just given in the last 9 years. You're not always going to feel that way, and that's completely okay, right? When you're an employee, you have to show up regardless of how you fucking feel, right? I mean, because otherwise you don't get paid, you have to use PTO, you have to use sick time, right? You still essentially pay for that. It's going to be the same thing in your business, okay? Unless it is so you really need to rest and you really cannot show up. There's things going on. Of course, those things happen, but you really need to show up for your business regardless of how you're feeling. This is going to push you forward, not deciding, well, I don't feel aligned today, so I'm not going to show up. That's hurting you so much, okay? And when I came to the conclusion that chasing this alignment was actually hurting my ability to show up and take action, it changed my life because I started focusing on, actually, I may not feel aligned, but I'm committed to the bigger picture. I'm committed to the goal, and that's what matters today, not how I'm feeling. Okay, and again, when we're focused on our emotions running the show, we're actually creating visibility wounds, because if we listen to every emotion, we would never really show up, right? Because it gets uncomfortable, it's scary, and it fucking sucks sometimes. So just kind of be aware of that. Okay, truth number 2, which kind of we already led into this, is you don't always want to show up. I know that there's this idea, especially with social media, on how people always seem like they're so excited to show up. They're sharing their life. You get a B-roll and the behind the scenes moment and all of those things. And they seem like they just love to show up. They want to be there. They're excited to be on social media and whatever the case may be. But that's not always true. Just because they showed up and put on a happy face does not mean that they were actually excited to show up that day, okay? Now, this doesn't mean that you don't love your business. It doesn't mean that you don't love your clients or your audience or any of those things. There's just going to be things that happen in your life that you're like, I just don't want to show up. There are days, especially in the wintertime, where I'm like, I would much rather drink some coffee and read in my bed all day long than get on social media and care, right? You're going to have those moments. There's nothing wrong with having these moments. It doesn't make you unworthy. It doesn't mean that you don't want it. It means that you're a human being. And there's nothing wrong with being a human being. What you want to do so that you're able to show up regardless of whether or not you're in that energy is to kind of have a bank of content that you can pull from when you're low energy, right? You have things that you're like, oh yeah, that works for me. I'm low energy. I'm just going to show up and then I'm going to be gone and that's going to be it. And that's my consistency for the day. Just because you don't want to show up, it doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean that you don't love your audience and what it is that you're doing. It just means that you're human. And when we buy into this advice that you should want to show up every single day and feel super high and excited about showing up, again, it almost puts you in this spiral reaction of, why am I not excited to show up today? Why don't I want to show up today, right? And you start shaming and spiraling and questioning yourself, rather than being like, oh yeah, I'm a human being and sometimes this shit happens, and that's completely okay. When my clients finally buy into the idea that it's okay to be a human being running a business, it makes running the business so much easier, but also they become more consistent and more committed because they're not concerned that they don't want to show up. They're more concerned about taking the action and making it enough for that day and feeling good that done and showing up is better than it being perfect or feeling 100%. This is going to push you forward. This is how you build a calm, profitable business. Now, before I go into the last truth in building a calm, profitable business, I want to share with you the 5-day reset link. We are going to go through 5 days of live training where I'm going to show you how to build into your foundations so that you're not just building off of somebody else's blueprint, but you're taking from foundations, building your own strategy, and creating foundations that hold you on your shitty days, that help you be more consistent with showing up, social media, and help you beat out and prevent things like going MIA or overwhelm or confusion or decision fatigue. This is going to give you that. It is complimentary. You want to sign up so that you get the email reminders and all of those things. The lives will be here. We're going to start June 1st, but you want to get in on the action because this is going to help you reset your business for calm and profitability. So let's dive into number 3. Okay, number 3 is something that I didn't know or didn't understand, and probably until like the last year or so. And it is that boring, mundane tasks, okay, actually are pushing the needle forward. Your income generating activities are usually not super duper fun. They're just not, especially depending on your energy. Hold on just a second. I just got a message and I can't see anything. Okay, so they're going to be boring, okay? Especially if you're an introvert, okay? It's not always going to be super exciting to reach out to people, okay? If you are concerned about rejection and abandonment, you're not always going to feel really good about following up with people, right? It feels uncomfortable. And then once you get in the habit of doing it, what happens? It feels mundane. It feels boring. You want those things, including the exciting things, as well as maybe doing challenges, launches, doing in-person events, things like that, that really, yes, they excite you. You want those things in your life. I'm not here to just tell you're not allowed to feel that way. But the thing is that not all of those are going to be money generating activities. Money generating activities are going to be where your leads are coming from, where you're having the most conversations, when you're having engagement and you're taking them to the DMs and then you're leading them through the sales process. That is what you really want to look at. And sometimes that's really boring. It's really mundane, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but just be aware that those things are actually what's putting money into your business, right? It's what's making your business very calm and profitable. And I think because there's all this online advice about you're supposed to feel aligned and excited and feel joyful and happy every single day that you show up and commit to your business, that we then don't realize that boring and mundane and repeated systems and structures are actually safety for us, so that it's preventing us from having burnout. It's preventing us from feeling overwhelmed and confused and having decision fatigue, that we are so used to operating in very much chaotic it's chaos every single day, that we kind of bash things being boring. We don't want to look at it. We don't want anything to do with it. Well, for me, that boring, that means safety for me. So that means that on my bad days, I can lean on this system and this structure because it's holding me, it's supporting me. On the days that I feel overwhelmed, I know exactly what's going on because it's supporting me. These boring, mundane tasks are helping me make it to the next step, and the next step. So be aware of that when you're looking at what to do and what's actually generating money for you. It's probably going to be pretty mundane and pretty boring. So again, this is how you build a calm, profitable business. If you want to join us in the 5-day business reset, the link is for you there. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you comment, you say hey, and ask any questions that you have. If you need more support or guidance, feel free to reach out to me on the DMs. But this is what I have for you, and I hope that you have a great day.